I had a gamer moment. Hello, internet. This is SneakyDevil. Is my audio coming in just fine? Over the
I don't know. I
over
did
the
not listen to
wire?
the stream.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to hear because I just dropped my microphone and then accidentally kicked it when I went to go pick it back up. So
Again.
I like how often you manage that.
look,
Like,
man, I only have
it's
one eye.
impressive.
Okay, my perception a little bit off.
Hmm.
Don't worry, I can drive. Welcome to Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9004, episode 3. I'm your host, Sneaky Devil. Let's get right on into it. Make sure to spread the link around, boys and girls. I want as many people in here as possible tonight. Not for any particular reason, I just want them here.
No, yes, Sneaky is lonely again.
Make him suffer with us.
So, I figure since we got Orf in here tonight, we can either do a gamer
Oh, no.
story or a Naruto story.
Well, I
Maybe
mean,
a
you still have that
Rubery-
vendetta against Hero
Rubery
Server,
story.
right?
There's so many choices I have.
I'm voting for Gamer,
So
honestly.
many choices. I don't actually know if I have any gamer stories lined up.
Surely you
maybe.
have surely you have something like a Harry Potter gamer story set up just for Arn.
Please.
Actually, no, because most of the Harry Potter gamer stories are literally just copy and paste of each other.
Alright, hang on.
Well, all right,
Let's see.
that figures.
Yeah. So.
Did
How
we
you
go
doing,
through everything
Orf?
from Shiro's, or did we just stop?
I more or less gave up on covering the shit from Shiro's.
That's fair.
It's no fun if they're not showing up to be shit on.
Yeah. Fair enough. I think your link is still pinned, though.
Huh?
I think your link is still
Wait,
pinned.
am I still
Yeah.
pinned?
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay, so you know what? We got how about a Naruto DXD story? How do you feel about that?
Sure.
Good old faithful, I guess.
It's a good old faithful, alright.
Nothing
Have we
can go
read
wrong.
a single Naruto DxD story that takes place in Naruto's universe as opposed to inserting Naruto into the DxD universe?
You're
no,
asking
we
if
haven't,
they're...
not on stream. I do know one guy who
Yeah.
does it.
I on stream. I don't think we've ever seen one on stream.
Yeah, no,
In
I do know
all-
of one guy that does it, and his stories aren't like, they're not great, but they're also not like bad. So I don't really cover them here.
Didn't know you
so
had
yeah.
your own channel on Shiro's server.
Yeah, I basically have my own channel. It's hilarious. I have my own channel on Shiro's server, and his admin kicked me.
Yeah, Tojo was telling me about that. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I have the server muted. I
Yeah,
pop in every now and then to stir the pot in his politics, but not really politics channel.
Yeah,
Based.
no, that was actually the channel that got me banned this time around. I say banned because I have yet to see proof that I was just kicked, and they refused to send me the bot log. So, I can only assume that means I was banned and then quickly unbanned.
Well, if you were banned, your messages would have got deleted, wouldn't they?
No, that's actually an option
Well,
you can
yeah,
set
true,
when
true,
you
it's an
ban
option.
them.
Mm-hmm.
But no. See, I actually told the admin on Shiro's server, B Tanuki, that he needs to go hug a trash rat and shut the fuck up about COVID, unless I'm also allowed to talk about COVID, because in his opinion, because his uncle who died of lung cancer, had possibly contracted COVID at one point, and then later died of lung cancer. He's allowed to speak about COVID and the seriousness of COVID, while I, who audibly has lung problems and have had lung problems on this podcast documented for literally 4 years going now, where I have almost died on stream because I was asphyxiating due to those lung complications, am not allowed to speak about COVID.
Oh wait, I can speak
Hey,
about
Sneaky,
COVID.
I
I
thought
work
this
in
looked
healthcare
familiar.
now.
We've covered this story.
Have we?
Yeah, back in September.
Damn.
I was looking at. I saw Naruto Bail. I'm like, wait a second.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Have
I
we
remember
really?
this.
Breakthrough? Have we?
Yep. If you search the link, it comes up twice.
Oh, excellent. Good. That means we don't have to cover this one. I can delete it.
Is that the one where it starts off with Naruto at that party where he meets Rias?
Probably.
Because you covered that the last time I was here.
Oh, did I really?
This okay. It's the
Impressive.
story where there's like elitism to the like 11th degree. Naruto learns in class that higher class devils are always better than lower class, and lower class can't grow stronger.
Yeah, that story. Yeah,
Even though there's literal
where the author
examples
just
in
gave
universe.
blatantly false information and then tried to pass it off as not blatantly false information and totally part of the narrative.
What the fuck did you just open, Sneaky?
I thought I was opening up a shit post, but apparently I opened up a shit post.
A shit post.
Well,
Yeah, I thought I was opening up a shit post, but instead I opened up a shit post. Really weird. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Is that the one where I joked about Senator's son? I believe so, yeah.
This is gonna be one of the shortest pieces ever covered on this stream.
Thank fuck.
I just
66 words. All right. Sure.
Oh my god.
It doesn't look like it's
literally every single. Yeah, no, this has got to be
Every single word.
Every single fucking word is capitalized. This has got to be a shit post. All right, so we're just gonna casually not read this. I'm trying to find something good because now we got Shadow and Orphan here, and I want to trigger someone.
Oh boy.
I'm sure you'll find something.
I really do want to find something just for you to make you go, why do I write this section? And I don't think there's anything better than the classic Harry Potter Fate Stay Night.
Ah, delicious. Just like this alcohol.
And we can all thank Lupine for making this section popular.
Fucking Lupine.
God damn
Yeah,
it.
the section I will never read.
Yeah, you know, he probably did single-handedly make that happen, didn't he?
Oh yeah, totally. No, he's...
Yeah. He's responsible.
This time it's
Go check
personal.
the infamous Halo crossover section, see if anyone else has made something there.
Yeah, that's right. Max here is a unique poster.
For some fucking reason.
So anyway, this is a Harry Potter and a Fate Stay Night crossover called The Throne of Babylon. All my life, people have placed their expectations upon me. They would have me believe I failed. Cowards. That's not a sentence or a statement. What right do these... Oh my god.
Does he say mongrel?
Mongrels.
Yep.
Have to pass judgment upon me, the only right these people have. That's not a sentence. The only right these people have is not a sentence. And you might be thinking, well, maybe he has a follow-up sentence that explains what he's talking about. No, that's where you'd be wrong, because his follow-up sentence is, the only right I allow them. Which still doesn't define what he's talking about. Next sentence. Is to stand in awe and be humbled if and when I deign to stand as their salvation. Gaze upon my wonders, for I sit upon the throne of Babylon. I'm pretty sure they misspelled Babylon.
No, that's correct.
Are you really? I thought it was longer.
Yeah. No.
You might be thinking of the Tower of Babel and mixing them up.
Oh, you're right.
It's
Or you're thinking of Babylonia.
Literally the same thing, you dumb fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, so
They're two different spellings, you dumb fuck.
This is a
No.
Harry Potter, but he's Gilgamesh crossover.
Oh yes.
It's got a whopping 5 chapters with about 6K words each, 1,700 favorites, and it has been ongoing since September 13th, 2019.
Sneaky, you're more into programming than me, if only
Sure.
slightly. Why is there a JavaScript compiler called Babel?
The Tower of Babel, the
Yeah.
one tower of all languages.
Okay, good. It's just programmers continuing to be fucking weirdos.
Yeah,
Good.
cheeky little shits, pretty much, yeah.
Basically.
There's also a 2006 movie named Babel.
And to further rub it in, the most basic programming language there is called assembler, that assembles statements.
Yes. That's how it works.
I will proclaim to the world the deeds of Gilgamesh. Oh, so he's just quoting the Epic of Gilgamesh. Okay, very cool.
I'm sorry, just those opening author's notes are fucking... It took me a moment to be like, oh, I'm not used to seeing that in one of these stories. I'm used to seeing those in Naruto stories.
Yeah, I know, right? The opening quote.
Yeah.
Didn't you do that, Orf?
What?
The opening quote thing at the start of a chapter?
I did it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever did that.
Now I have to say, as cringy as it can be, possibly one of the best stories I've read on this platform here, fanfiction.net, was a Undertale story that did in fact open up with the classic noun definition of noun as its opening. And I was just like, for the longest time I didn't want to read the story because I was like, oh man, it's probably going to be fucking cringe as hell because I know so many stories that try to do that. They're like psychopath and they try and define psychopath and like that's the story. It's going to be cool, guys. And it's fucking cringe ass shit. Yeah, no, Recursion was actually a really good story.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, you should.
I never read it.
The guy's actually got a wide profile of stories he's written for. He wrote a story for World of Warcraft where Yogg Saron, the void god of death, reincarnated as a teenage girl. That was a trip. And then he also wrote a story for Subnautica, also completed, in which the guy who crash lands dates a fish.
Oh yes.
That was also a weird story. Very good though. Anyway, they had left him deep within the forest of Dean, far from the lights of civilization and the terror inspired by the rampant Dark Lord Voldemort, They had left him to go back home. Ron had long been complaining about the tiring nature of it all, camping out in the woods, rationing food and scavenging when they had the opportunity, jumping at every shadow and sleeping with one eye open out of fear of discovery of Riddle's Death Eaters or the Snatchers that worked for the monster. The realist part of Harry had figured out that it had always been a matter of time before his flaky friend gave up and went back to his family in favor of his warm bed and massive meals made by his overbearing mother. While we can clearly already tell the author's opinions on the Weasley family. When the ginger had thrown his final tantrum and left, Harry hadn't been all that concerned. It was Hermione's departure that had caught him off balance. His truest friend, if he had to put a label to it. She had always maintained her presence as a stalwart supporter and faithful friend. semicolon. Only doubting him in a few occasions. She had always helped him weather Ron's whining and kept their oafish friend on side. Oh, didn't she also cause like nearly every single argument his friends ever had?
Yeah. Something like that.
But now she was gone. 7 years of friendship, and she finally took Ron's side. It is a little bit weird, a little bit out of character for Hermione to do that, just in general, because it's not like Ron, who is from a pureblood quote unquote family, who can in fact just go back home, and be quote unquote relatively safe. Hermione is kind of a Jew in Nazi Germany in this section of canon.
Yeah.
I have
Can't-
absolutely no
pretty much.
context for this.
Right, so basically in the final book of Harry Potter, the bad guy takes over the government and declares he's going to gas all the non-purebloods.
Essentially.
And so he has an SS that goes around and captures non-purebloods and kills them. And so Hermione's a non-pureblood. And so she can't exactly walk away from it, because if they find her, they're going to kill her. So it's either she fights it or she dies.
Clearly, she's just given up on life.
Yeah, but she might have just given up on life or something. I don't know, man. Oh God, is this a betrayed fic? I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure this is a betrayed fic. So now, to be fair though, it is canon. This is part of canon that Ron got up and left them. Like, that is part of the original story.
That's part of canon. Fairly important too, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, it really was. But it's... Of all the moments that people try to do betrayal fics, I'm always really confused when they do it in, like, the later books. Because...
When it wouldn't make sense?
Yeah, basically. Because there was one book, the Goblet of Fire, in which Hermione and Ron both did distance themselves from Harry because they believed he had cheated and purposely put himself into a death tournament where the winner would be the one that lives.
Well,
Usually.
them and the rest of the whole school. Every
but the rest of the
friend
school
Harry
matter.
had ever
The rest
made.
of the school always believes he's the villain until the end. That's normal.
Especially the Gryffindors.
Yeah, everyone always believes, like, that's the theme of every single Harry Potter book, is Harry is always the villain until the end of the book, where he proves everyone wrong that he was right the whole time. But in Goblet of Fire, it was unique in that J.K. Rowling had Harry suddenly lose the trust of the two people who knew that he didn't do all the bad things that every single other year people blamed him for. But this year, they instantly believed that he did the bad thing that everyone else blamed him for. It was really weird. I really don't like the decision she made and how she did it. It was really abrupt and just... It was bad, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But it happened in canon, so therefore it would be a good spot to do a Harry betrayal fic, because that's actually what happened.
Yeah.
I just...
Is that not the point of that usually gets used?
Yeah, yeah. But honestly, Pokemon betrayal fics are the worst.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Because it's just like, Ash loses another tournament and fails to get the championship, so all of his friends are like, wow, Ash, you fucking suck. We're gonna frame you for rape and murder. It's like, wait, what?
Hang on a second. Hang on, guys. He's always 10. You know this. That's horrible.
Yeah, no. They make him like 16 usually. It's usually around like Diamond and Pearl and Platinum that the betrayal fics take place in.
I would love to see just like just a satire of betrayal fics in Pokemon where it's like, guys, I'm 10. You literally just set up child molestation. What have you done?
It really depends on what you say is satire. because I do know of a serious non-comedy, which I believe you could call as a parody or a satire of the betrayal arc. It's called The Master, I believe, or something like that, where basically the premise is the betrayal thing happens, the classic betrayal trope happens, and everyone kind of just leaves Ash and he fucks off. And then he comes back as the champion, but no one knows because he's wearing a mask and shit. And no, it takes itself very seriously too. And it's not like edgy seriously. Like,
yeah,
he
sure,
goes
but
on
like
and fights
that actually
Team Rocket.
sounds interesting.
Oh yeah, no, it was
Like,
actually a really
actually-
good story. It's actually a 3-part series that was finished, and it was actually surprisingly good. You know, he fucking fights Team Rocket and Mewtwo and shit like that. It was actually really fun. It was a good read, and it totally just.
Most of it is crawling into my skin.
And no, there was no edge.
It's literally he literally just said there's no edge.
I have to
Why did you
reconfirm
jump?
because I don't believe him. I
Yeah,
don't
then go
believe
fucking
anyone
read
would
it.
actually write that.
I'm surprised that there are some Wizard Spec Ops units that didn't use the whole cursed name thing to lure people into traps. Honestly, I don't know why this whole cursed name thing wasn't used more ever. Like, I don't know. The fucking Dumbledore setting up a cursed word, like if anyone in Hogwarts' grounds says the word sneak or something like that after they should be in bed, that they get instantly teleported into the detention room or something. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, I think you'd have a bit more contextual recognition for it, but essentially, yeah.
J.K. Rowling forgot.
Well, of course,
Yeah, of
that's
course.
fucking
It's
JKR. What do you
J.K.
expect?
Rowling. Of course she forgot. Hey guys, let me just invent new magic that could have been used in like the past 6 books. Oh, God,
And forgets magic that could solve issues later.
yeah. Let me just invent magic in later books that could have been used to solve problems in earlier books, but it didn't exist then, so it couldn't.
Sneaky, it's dark magic, banned by the Ministry.
Ah, yes, of course.
Yeah,
Dark magic.
it's
indeed.
African magic.
Wait, so then why wouldn't the Ministry just set up a forbidden word of like saying dark magic or blood ritual or something shit like that? If I can just set up a fucking prison point and just be like, all right, anyone that says the word dark magic.
Because if the
They call-
hyper-authoritarian Ministry of Magic was competent, it would be a dystopian hellscape.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes, that's
Well,
a fair enough.
The reason why they didn't do it is because camp wizards kept dabbing and teleporting away from them.
Based.
I mean, maybe.
Are you saying there aren't camp wizards somewhere in Harry Potter?
Absolutely.
Well,
there are.
considering the fact that America supposedly ousted all of the goblins in a bloody war that genocided them all, probably, yeah, they probably exist.
I mean, America in JKR's fucking Harry Potter verse is far more authoritarian than the
Oh yeah,
Muggle side.
hilariously more.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe not there, but somewhere else, surely.
J.K.
Really
Rowling
puts
has
her
some
opinion
very
on-
interesting opinions about how world politics go.
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
one British guy actually went down to Japan and founded the Magical Witch Hand School of Magical Witches, and they teach Chinese, Japanese, and Koreans all in the same class.
I'm curious. Did
Oh,
she
God,
give a
awful.
rough time frame of when this British person did that?
Oh yeah, in 1980 something.
Hmm.
And specifically, the Magical Girl anime was invented by the wizard, according to her, to cover up for the Magical Girl School.
Genius.
And what makes it even better is that she fucked up
Oh,
on the katakana for the Magical Girl School. So instead of saying Magical Girl School, it's like actually translates word for word as like Witch Hand Home.
well, here's the problem. That means that she's not at all familiar with Magical Girl anime because they don't use magic that often. Oftentimes, they resolve things through punches and kicks, and sometimes a fancy move.
Well, yeah, but it has the
And
word magic.
explosions to the face.
The newer
Oh
version.
no, I know, but I like the idea that Japan's academy is focused towards close
On
combat.
martial arts.
They learn
like-
CC.
How do you use your wands? Oh, we just chuck them.
Wands?
what?
You mean
We
our
use
maces?
wands and knives. We use wands and knives in CQC combat.
You mean our bludgeons?
Or nunchucks?
Well,
actually
with
don't
next
make
turn,
one
you
too
don't
often.
need a wand.
I
What will
I
it be,
very
but don't
much
do your
need-
Honestly, I'm really disappointed that there wasn't a single person in Rowling's expanded canon that dressed up like a priest from D&D and went around bludgeoning things with a mace that's been manufactured into a wand. Like, come on. That is prime opportunity right there.
Yeah. True.
Do you really think Rowling's the kind of person to know anything about D&D?
No,
Do you
No.
expect her to know anything about anything?
not really, no.
I mean, she's a middle-aged ex-English teacher, so no.
I mean, we're talking about the same person who changed her pen name to J.K. Rowling because she thought boys wouldn't read a story with the word Justine on it for the author name. And my response to that, learning about that interview, was that I didn't know books had authors until I was about 15.
Yeah, no, up until you hit like middle or high school, you don't give a shit about the author's name unless it's like Dr. Seuss or something.
Like, well, Dr. Seuss was part of the title, though, so that's how you knew the
Well,
author
no,
then.
I know, but like we didn't give a shit about the author. We
Yeah,
never
but-
looked at that. We just looked at the summary and the cover art sometimes.
Basically, yeah, the title, the cover art, and the summary, and for the longest time, I had no idea Twilight and the Host was written by the same person. And I was like a fucking senior in high school when I finally found out they were written by the same person. I'm just like, what the fuck? I don't check author, like, the only time I ever check author names is when I'm like, oh, well, I really like the book by this person. Is there any other books they've written? That's the only time I've ever checked author names. I've never been like, I'm in the fiction section today. Oh, that book looks interesting. Oh, woof. It's written by Claire. Ugh, I don't read books written by Claire's.
Imagine if someone
Imagine-
actually lived their life like that. If your name is Frank, get the fuck out. I'm not reading your book.
I don't read books written by Kevin's.
Based.
I
Fuck
mean,
you, Kevin.
I'm sure there's people who don't. It's the internet. I'm sure someone out there goes like, "Oh, books by a woman, get out of here."
I mean, there is
Okay.
that whole movement of decolonizing literature, so...
I mean, okay, yeah, but that's like modern day dumbassery. No, we're talking about the 1994, okay? That wasn't around back then. Like, children were not being like, oh man, I'm not gonna read this book because it was written by Justine.
Actually, if anything, her putting her real name on the book probably today sort of been like, look, see, well, yeah, no, she could have been her own like mid-aughts movie protagonist. Like, see, a woman can do this.
Yeah, probably.
It actually would have been considered progressive for the time period to put her name out there like that. Kids don't give a shit, but adults put more emphasis on it than they really should.
I mean, yeah, I suppose so. It would be the adults that would not buy the book because it was written by a woman, but at that same time, it's like, well, then you can't really. Well, but the problem was is she blamed the boys.
Oh, I know. I'm
She
aware.
wasn't blaming the parents that were obviously the ones that control the money in buying the book. She was saying that fucking like 9-year-old boys weren't gonna read a book because it had the word Justine on it. It's like, bitch.
9-year-old boys really don't care. They don't.
A, first off, good luck getting a 10-year-old boy to read a book. B, second off, if they are reading a book, they probably don't even know that as an author. Okay, to be real with you.
They just know there's
Yeah.
a story in front of them, and it's entertaining.
What if I joined in on J.K. Rowling being a dumbass? Anyway, so back to this author being a dumbass, and for some reason having Hermione just AWOL during a World
Yeah.
War genocide.
Oh, yes. As you do.
You say it
As-
like it's a
As one
shock.
does.
Of course.
I'm not gonna say anything more.
Yeah, please don't. Just stop.
It hurt.
It's a whole.
The only two people he had felt he could unconditionally call his best friends in his short 17 years of living. Really, Ron? Ron?
Yeah, apparently.
The guy who said he wished his parents were dead so he could be as famous as you? Best friend? Really? Okay.
Yes. That's how it
All
works.
the adventures, the hardships, the dangers and fear they had endured over the years, and now, right at the end, with the final dangerous adventure, they had thrown in the towel and left him to bear it alone. The chosen one hissed out a tsk of anger between clenched teeth as he looked down onto the golden object that he was absently twisting in his hands. It was not the Slytherin locket that served as Riddle's Horcruxes. No, that revolting thing was hanging from a candle holder on the dining table on the far side of the expansive tent. No, the treasure that was enjoying the delicate, intimate caress of his fingertips. Yeah, it actually says that, by the way.
I'm
Of course it
impressed.
does.
Oh, it's also got DxD elements in it? Fuck.
Oh
Of course
boy.
it does.
Of course it does.
You wanted a DxD story, Sneaky.
It said in the author's notes at the beginning.
Oh,
Oh,
I didn't
fuck,
even.
oh, no.
I just fucking blew right past them. Oh, it does have DxD.
Oh no.
Ah,
Oh no.
I was really hoping the one time I didn't read the author notes wouldn't come back to bite me in the ass, but I guess
It bit you in the ass.
It did,
I
yeah.
guess I really nailed that target. I wanted a DxD Harry Potter story. Well, I got a DxD Fate Stay Night Harry Potter story. Well,
I'm
Good
just
job.
glad that the
Yeah.
Fanfiction
Got it
admin
all.
didn't allow triple crossovers as categories.
I am also glad that they didn't go that excessive, but you know what? That's what AO3 is for, so we can all just continuously ignore it.
Yeah, and laugh at it occasionally.
AO3. It was beautiful to look at. Made from interconnecting blocks and pieces of solid gold. The handle, if it could be called as such, was assembled from a number of constantly shifting and realigning blocks of different size and shape. No, the handle doesn't move. Also, you wouldn't be able to hold it if the handle moved.
Genius.
Constantly shifting and realigning blocks, almost, almost like Tetris blocks. It was almost the size of a dagger, and if that line of thought followed, then it had a if that line of thought followed.
Let's not forget, this author clearly doesn't think.
But I'm not sure
Well,
what he's...
yeah.
If that line of thought followed is in reference to making a statement that you are uncertain of the information about, and then following up with a, if the previous statement is true, then... But that's not what he did here. He just described this dagger that he's holding in his hand, and he's like, well, if this is indeed a dagger that I am holding in my hand, I've just described as a dagger, then... It's like... What? If the dagger is in fact a dagger that you were holding in your hand, what's the information you don't know about it? What's vague or unconnected here? If the dagger is a dagger, then this guy is blue.
I'm gonna stab you.
You won't come to Brazil, Brazil will come to you. Indeed.
Yep.
Let's see. Anyway, so blah 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 blah. Then it had a rectangular-shaped blade with a number of notches, circular cutouts, and holes, altering its overall shape.
Bruh.
So it's a blade?
Yeah.
He's trying to
I
see if
guess
it's
so.
is it a key or is it a blade? I'm really not following
no.
here because the way he's describing it, it sounds like a fucking key, but he keeps using sword terms to describe it.
Oh,
It's simple,
fuck,
Sneaky.
God damn it. No.
It's a keyblade.
Oh
No.
no! Oh no!
No, stop, cease.
Oh no!
It's also a Disney crossover, by the way.
Is this also a
No.
Disney crossover?
Goofy's
No.
here. He's about to fuck you up.
No. No.
Wait,
No,
does
I
that
don't
mean Gilgamesh would have
know
every
that.
single keyblade?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wait, I'm
Probably
sorry,
does
what?
also.
What?
I mean, would that surprise anyone?
I just like the notion of this. Please stop.
Too bad.
Well, that's unfortunate because we're gonna keep going.
Yep.
Harry had examined every inch of this item over the many years that he has arbitrarily possessed it, and has never talked about it to anyone ever before until this very moment where he's currently looking at it. Again. Ran his fingers across every edge, corner, and beautifully carved recesses it had in every configuration the ever-shifting handle had, and at all times he could not dissuade the notion that he was beholding a key. Then why did you describe it as a blade, author?
Because they're retarded.
Yeah, well, my bad.
No shit.
He had come to own this key from coming on 2 years now, arbitrarily. Okay. Ever since he had infiltrated the Department of Ministries as a foolish, short-sighted attempt to rescue his godfather from danger. Danger that he had never originally been in until Harry set the trap for him and made him kill himself. He had come to own this key. He had gotten separated from the others after the prophecy orbs had blown up. You mean after you blew up the prophecy orbs? And ran into a room filled with trinkets and knickknacks. Some were covered in
Can do no
dust,
wrong, special boy. Yeah.
some glowing with a number of obscure, forbidden, or forgotten magical enchantments. Well, how the fuck would Harry know what was forbidden or forgotten? Or obscure?
You know, that's a good question.
Because
He just
this is
knows.
not a third person narrative. Sorry, this is not an omniscient narrator. This is Harry narrating how he got the key. Then he supposedly knew that this room was filled with obscure, forgotten, and forbidden objects. How would he know that?
Department of Mysteries.
That's a cop out, not a fucking
Yeah, that's
answer.
a major cop out because prophecies aren't mysteries. The prophecies were held there anyway.
Yeah. Simple
Again,
answer. Fuck you.
Again, when does Rowling care about world building?
Oh no, I'm just
Mm.
saying that you can't say, oh, it's been the Department of Mysteries because it's forgotten, forbidden, or obscure, when we have the entire room dedicated to the thousands of prophecies that have been made and fulfilled. There's a fucking ledger system. They created paperwork about prophecies. You can't say it's not understood yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, you could have just gotten it from a different room.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But well, what I'm saying is that logic doesn't hold up. That they're there because they're obscure, forgotten, or. But
Yeah. True enough.
I mean, there's a whole fucking room of time turners as well, and they just lend those out to 13-year-old girls who want to take multiple classes.
Well, yeah, of course.
At the same
What else
time,
would you
it
do with
is
this fucking time
Harry.
travel?
At the same
Yeah.
time, it is Harry.
No, he wouldn't know that stuff is forgotten, forbidden, or obscure.
I know,
He
but
has
he could
put
assume
literally
it.
0 effort into ever learning magic in the entire series. The only time he ever actually put effort into learning something was because he was scared of, seeing his mom die in front of him. Which, I mean, it's fair enough, but still, this is the only time he ever actually put effort in the series to ever learning anything. Like... Anyway. So, he got into this room, and he's looking around the room, and there's this giant fucking key on this pillow, and he's like, wow, it's a key on a pillow. And he took it.
I'm gonna nick it.
Yeah, basically, he's like, hey man, that's a golden key on a pillow, I'm gonna steal that. I mean, when you can't walk out with the speaker podium, you gotta take what's left, Just grab the golden key. Whatever that does.
Bruh.
Yes. Grab the random fucking key.
The golden treasure glowed to his eyes and was humming and making bell sounds. And then when he returned to Hogwarts, Harry maintained his silence on his theft. He told no one that he stole shit from the Department of Mysteries. Honestly, I'm surprised there wasn't more looting. I mean, they were in a fucking room filled with time turners, and you're telling me not a single one of the kids was just like fucking palming time turners into his pocket?
Fred and George weren't there, so they didn't.
Oh yes, of course, I forgot. Only 2 people allowed to ever steal things.
Yes.
Hermione
That's how
was-
it works.
Said, but Hermione was.
Right, yes. Let's see, anyway, so blah 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 blah, Ken stuff, Riddle's immortal, blah blah blah. It was again an unconscious action on Harry's part. He had felt several occasions that he wanted to tell Dumbledore, but every time he had a moment to tell any of his friends about the powerful secret that he held of the key. Suddenly something would happen that would prevent him from doing so. Yes, very convenient. Now that Hermione and Ron had abandoned him to fight the Voldemort alone, part of him felt nothing but relief that he no longer had to hide the key from people. Okay?
Bruh.
So Harry's playing Tetris with the key. He's testing out different configurations of the key. And then he's pushing some buttons, and the key is realigning itself. And he's like, "Man, I'm totally really good at this magical Rubik's cube."
It only
Is this-
took him 2 years.
Yeah.
Does he just get possessed by an ancient pharaoh now? Is that where we're going?
He's actually about to. This is actually a Yu-Gi-Oh crossover. He found the Millennium Key, which I'm pretty sure is actually a thing.
I think
probably.
it is. It is.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Let's be real. The Millennium Eye was the most dipshit tier thing possible. It's like, oh yeah, got this gold ass eye. Okay. What do you want to do with it, sir? Okay, I want you to rip my eye out, my working eye, and I want you to put this gold one that doesn't work into it. It's
Genius.
like, sure about that, boss?
Didn't it get forced into his eye or something? Like they found him trespassing. They're just like, oh yeah, you know what? We're just gonna punish you by giving you a thing that grants you any wish.
Oh yeah, that might have been it. I never really paid attention to the story. Beyond that one time that Yugi was like, "Hey, mysterious person that I'm about to fight a tournament for lots of money for, would you like to see my strongest card? And I'll just hand it to you while we're on this boat at the ledge of the boat, big boat that I can't get down from."
Well, the random stranger was like, I heard you have this. Can I see it?
Yeah, I know, but
and then
still.
just let him have it like an
Just
idiot.
like, hello, random
fair.
stranger. Would you like to see my
to be
strongest card? Yeah, sure. Here you go. It's in this box right
Yugi's
here.
like-
I sure hope nothing happens to this strongest card I have, because then I would like
Uh-oh.
lose it or something.
Say goodbye to Exodia.
Say goodbye to Exodia.
It's like, were there supposed to be 63 passengers? Yeah, there's 62. Yeah, you know, things happen.
Accidents happen.
Accidents.
No,
happen.
before it still
Kids
be
sub with Yu-Gi-Oh! is always hilarious.
Oh, dude, no, seriously, like a card collector, like if you went up and ripped a card collector's most prized card up in front of him, he would probably kill you.
His eyes.
He's sneaky. There's only 62 because Joey was a stowaway.
Oh, right. It's still 63. Nobody noticed, that's why. Joey is an accomplice to a murder. Oh, that
Isn't
explains
there
so
like
much.
a thing where like Joey literally wasn't allowed on the tournament rule set because Kaiba was like, I don't fucking care about you. Fuck off. I hate you.
All I remember is at one point they were like, here, Joey, take half of my winning points. And then Joey was like, very cool. Now I get to go lose them all in this fight with this big-tittied blonde woman.
Epic.
And then he proceeded to win. And then big titty blonde woman is very sad.
Yes. They had to collect gold stars and then wear them on an armband.
I forgot about that.
I just remembered that part.
Dueling
Yeah.
Kingdom was weird. We leave it at that.
I forgot
City
about
was
that
also
part.
weird. Let's not discuss that.
Let's not forget the best part, which is Kaiba threatening suicide if he doesn't get to win the children's card game.
If you win this card game, Yugi boy, I'll kill myself.
No, Yugi Boy was the thing that Pegasus did.
I know. I like to make fun of it though.
Actually, I recently learned something about Yu-Gi-Oh! That I think is so stupid. The guy that wrote the original Duel Monsters manga,
Yeah.
he basically told Konami that they're not allowed to have cash prizes for Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments, even though that's a thing in the manga.
Hmm.
And Konami was like, okay, we just won't offer cash prizes for any tournaments of this very profitable card game ever.
No, but we will make exclusive cards that you can't even use because we give them instant win conditions.
Yeah.
Genius.
Brilliant. I still do like the 4Kids edit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where instead of holding guns, they're pointing their fingers at him. They're like, freeze! Finger gun. Put your hands in the
Point.
air. It's like
Points with malicious intent.
finger point with malicious intent. I'll commit suicide. With what, Kayaba? Pulls out finger gun, points it at his own head. I'll do it, Yuki!
That certainly would have been interesting.
It would have made the duels a lot more interesting if they just fucking shot finger guns at each other the entire time. How can you play your trap card, Yugi boy, when I have a 12-round finger gun?
Oh god.
Oh yeah, what's like fucking
High capacity assault finger guns.
High capacity assault finger guns.
where did you buy
Fully
that?
semi-automatic.
It uses buckshot rounds instead of the normal.
Yeah, but let's just have like a 3-gun revolver dinosaur head guy be in. That's perfectly fine.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's because it's a monster.
Yeah, fucking Bandit Keith just like pointing a finger gun at.
Also, the fucking blatant American, just random blatant American XP.
Oh, yeah. He went out. I'm
so
pretty sure he
random.
went out in a fire. Like,
Yeah.
actually died in a fire.
Yeah. he was setting up traps in a cave, and like they like launched, they like broke something in the
No,
cave. or
the
something?
fire was way later, like
Oh.
in an abandoned factory
That
type setting.
was
Oh.
the thing in Battle City.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
'cause the Egyptian guy with the magical staff took over his mines
Alec?
and left him in a warehouse that was on fire because he
Oh.
lost Yugi.
Oh. Well then.
Yeah.
Dark.
The fuck out, Sneaky. I nearly spit my drink at the finger gun comment.
Good.
Good.
Fuck you, Aura.
My high capacity finger gun.
Listen, very little
We-
will compare to One Piece's edits.
Oh.
Uh,
The lollipop instead of cigarette thing?
No. Threatening a kid by
Right.
holding a shoe to his head.
Oh.
Holding a what?
I mean, I guess that
A
works
shoe!
in like
Oh,
Latin
They
America.
edited it
yeah.
so that he had a shoe
Yeah.
instead of a gun.
Well, you see, it's
Yeah.
simple. It's La Chancla.
It's legit.
All the
Hispanic
guns
ones
were
just fuck you
changed
up.
to squirt guns.
Yeah. That was,
Well,
that was funny.
And then Gintama actually threw shade at 4Kids for
Mhm.
editing the cigarette into a
Oh yeah,
lollipop.
no, I remember that. Sir, you're not allowed to smoke in class. I'm not smoking. This is a lollipop. Then why is it smoking?
Just licking it really fast. See? Pulls out.
Looking at really fast.
Gintama makes fun of everything, and it's great.
Anyway, so back to this garbage ass story about Harry being betrayed by everyone and unlocking the true treasures of Babylon.
Yes, of course.
So anyway, Harry gets absorbed by the Rubik's Cube, and then finally figures out the true pattern of the Rubik's Cube, the real pattern that was not the fake patterns that the other patterns were. This is the real key. This is the Keyblade.
Does he
Yep.
actually?
Blinking in confusion and surprise, the teenager focused his eyes from their previously vacant expression down into the Keyblade in his hands.
I have a response to this. Would you like to know what it is?
Everything is better now with him gone.
Damn,
Oh,
the return.
Came back.
So anyway, yeah, it turns into a Keyblade, and the handle was no longer shifting, and a pattern of glowing red lines started to stretch out from the guard, twisting and turning in sharp 90-degree angles like the beginning of a labyrinthian maze. It was so beautiful, it felt like the first time he had held his Holly and Phoenix core wand. Okay, wand.
Go on.
At Ollivander's. No, his wand paled in comparison to this. His whole body tingled, and a warmth filled him from his hands, from the key, the king key, Baba Ilu. It came out as a reverent whisper, the words unbidden and strange. Where had they come from? Why had he said them? And why did he know that was the name of the treasure in his hands? Such questions were immediately put to an end when the key reacted to his words. The red labyrinthian pattern erupted out from the key, stretching out into the air around it, and cuneiform lettering formed in the air around him, humming with power and pulsing with crimson light, as if it possessed a life of its own. Harry's grip tightened on the handle of Bobby Lou and rose to his feet, strength filling every fiber of his being as the enormous crimson pattern reversed its course and rapidly receded back to its original point, and the cuneiform lettering faded away. In its place, a glorious golden light spread from the Keyblade.
Are you just making? Is it just your goal to consistently say that to make me angry?
That's what the author
No,
is
it's
writing.
actually
Fuck
written
off.
there.
Yeah, it's actually Keyblade.
He's calling it a Keyblade. Fuck off.
Oh, that's even worse. I thought you were just being an ass.
No.
No, it's literally just fucking Kiwi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Hello,
in a
operator, I'd
pool
like-
of water, the golden
I'd like
light
to kill
rippled
myself.
out a mere foot from Harry's front. Huh? And from it fell a deep blue-colored crystal half the size of his fist. Instinctively, Harry reached out with his free hand to catch the crystal before it fell more than a foot. Why is he using... Okay, look. As much shit as I'll give people about meters and feet measurementing, why is Harry in Britain using feet as a measurement?
Because the author is American.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
Magical
Seriously.
Britain is still
Actually, he's Australian.
Well, you know what? That's just worse.
That makes it
Honestly.
worse.
clearly
Yeah.
Magical Britain is
Fucking-
still stuck in the time period where
They
the
used
UK
proper
used
forms of
imperial
measurement.
Yeah.
I see.
We're still stuck there.
Proper
Yeah.
forms of measurement? Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, the worst of both worlds, honestly.
We're still stuck there. Help.
Don't worry, help is on its way. Just ignore the nuclear launch detected symbol.
I was gonna say, help is on the way. Load shotgun with malicious intent.
With freedom intent. Hold on. There is no maliciousness here.
Load M1911 with malicious intent.
Oh god, those things backfired so often. Anyway, so instinctively Harry reached out, and in a moment he did. Everything changed. The
What?
crystal glowed, and a bell tone pulsed out from it. So my greatest treasure has finally been reached. Someone has touched the beacon!
A new hand.
Oh,
Touch-
it's
Uh-oh.
Orphan knows what I'm referring to.
a new hand touches the beacon.
Let me just
Listen, hear me and obey.
yeah, exactly right. Let me just fucking teleport you straight shit up high in the sky and then not make sure our script works to make you land properly.
Oh.
Thank you, Todd. Very cool.
I still remember the first time that happened. It's just like the whole goes through the whole thing, a conversation ends, and I'm like falling. I'm like, ground's getting pretty close. Should teleport me away soon, right? It didn't.
Oh my god.
My favorite time was when I got attacked by 2 dragons over there.
Oh yeah, nice. That's
That completely breaks the script.
does it really?
It doesn't know how to respond to you getting attacked.
Hmm.
Thank you very much, Todd. Very cool.
Game design.
It works. Don't worry.
Another
Oh,
great
just
moment
a
from
random
early
good
Skyrim.
Samaritan passing by.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, just wishing
bunch of
everyone
Twitch
a happy
streamers,
day.
and I hope you have an amazing day. Very cool, my dude. He's probably already gone, but regardless,
Probably.
very cool.
It's nice. of him.
One of my early memories of Skyrim is the dragon soundtrack playing, and I'm like, oh shit, where the fuck is it? And this is back in the day when the dragons still flew backwards sometimes. And
Probably the most majestic creatures.
I finally find the dragon, and it's flying backwards, and it crashes into a mountain and dies from fall damage. Because to prevent fall damage, they normally have the dragons do the landing script to reset their momentum to 0, but because it just hit the ground, it died.
Oops.
Epic.
I'm just sitting there watching this dragon roll down the mountain dead. I'm like, well, that's a free kill.
We take those.
I'll take it, but what the fuck? Anyway,
Not
so
it.
a naked man appears before Harry. Sorry, no, Harry felt naked before the man. I don't think that made it better.
I don't think you did.
Greetings, heir. I am your forebearer, the first and greatest of kings, Gilgamesh of Uruk. You who have come to possess my greatest treasure and unlocked its secrets. Be pleased. You have touched power and wealth that even the gods' eyes envy. Harry rolled his eyes. Man, Gilgamesh was sure full of himself. I mean, I don't know, man.
He deserves it.
Uruk was kind of really impressive. All things
Yeah.
considered.
Like, compared to anything else at the time, yeah.
Yeah. I once
Fucking obviously.
ruled the greatest of the Sumerian city-states, Uruk. By my reckoning, it had been thousands of years since my once glorious rule. A little bit more than thousands of years. It's kind of like 17,000 years or something, right?
Since Uruk now 7, about
7,000?
5,000-ish
Okay.
before Christ.
Yeah.
Well, at the earliest, I think. I don't know. Could be wrong.
While harsh, I ruled with fairness and justly.
Mid 4th
Blah,
millennium
blah, blah.
BC, so
Babylon.
5,500.
Blah 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 blah. My kin were not worthy. Blah blah blah. My secret Rubik's Cube keyblade. Blah blah blah. Incapable of holding it. Blah blah blah. Only someone could ever touch this wondrous key. Blah blah blah. Because you touched the key and solved it, you clearly are a higher being and know your place as my heir. Blah blah blah. You're a majestic and magical creature. Blah blah blah. Crystal no longer glowed. Bobby Elu no longer hummed with power. Instead, he filled with power to the brim. And he's like, "What did he mean by pride of heroes? Did that make Gilgamesh the king of heroes? That's kind of arrogant, really. But how could he call out this name? He didn't know. Oh yeah, it's Gate of Babylon." And then that's where the chapter ends. Unlike the previous story, the Harry Potter story we covered from Rants last time, that actually had a same setting actually, that actually had a coherent and nice ending line. This one was just cringe. Literally, it was like 4 or 5 paragraphs of just Gilgamesh being like, "You're the most amazing person ever."
I cannot see him doing that.
Yeah. Higher beings, these words are for you alone. Fuck you.
Unless you're Enkidu, the most you can expect from him is at least you're not completely worthless.
At least you're not Ishtar.
Oh, you know what? I think we've covered this guy before, guys. Because you might notice some of his scheduled fics that are upcoming. The Zero Chakra Plan, Legacy of Darkness, Bane of Light, Risen in Shadow, Fall into Shadow.
Yeah, I remember.
Some of you guys might remember some of those. So we've covered this guy before. Wow.
Does he live up to his name?
Oh, he absolutely lives up to his name of absolute garbage fix on a consistent basis.
A blight on the site.
Blight on the site, indeed. Let's see what else we got here around here. Anything
I have
good?
a solution for this author. We must spray him with cringe be gone.
Oh, speaking of cringe be gone, how do you feel? What the fuck? Naruto and the Prince of Mushrooms. What?
What?
Mario Naruto crossover?
Oh no.
What the fuck?
My only word is die.
What's this one? Oh yeah, this story that Aura wanted me to read.
Fuck you, Aura.
Quick question. Why is that Death's Deal still in the list?
Oh, because I got drunk and I didn't change the bookmark.
Nice.
It's not like this isn't a recurring pattern for the past 4 years.
Oh, that thing. God,
Yeah,
I remember.
story.
Fucking barely. Ugh.
So I give this to you. Here's Gilgamesh's key. Good luck describing that. I honestly would have described it as a tube-like Rubik's Cube attached to a large eccentric gold plate with numerous and varied punch holes and designs.
I would describe it as a fucking mess.
Yeah, that too.
I too would describe it as go fuck yourself. Stop writing this.
So, anyway, let's do a Doom My Hero Academia story. Everyone, you can thank Aura King here for his generous donation to the podcast.
Fuck you, Aura.
Yeah, fuck you.
I gotta thank him for shit.
Cunt. You're welcome.
So this is Izuku, the slayer of villains and demons. Izuku is the Doom Slayer from 2016. Not sure what else to say. There will be blood, carnage, a harem, and 90% of the people in this world are going to be women. And All Might is still a guy. Something I haven't seen much of in women worlds.
Wait, if he's the Doom Slayer, shouldn't he be all rage and have no time for fucking women?
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we're going with the H-Doom mod being canon.
Oh god, oh fuck.
No, I don't think we are we? Does that say that in there?
Well, it's the only way that he ever apparently has sex. So I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Here is my idea. Izuku lives in a world where almost all the women have quirks,
Oh no.
and it's believed that All Might is just a trans man.
I would like to use my subscription to offer a veto.
I'll consider it. I wanted to take the cliche My Hero Academia filled with powerful women and quirkless men plot and give it a different twist.
You really didn't have to.
Thank you, but it was,
yeah, no, I was okay
You
with that
shouldn't have.
never existing.
it's the
You
epitome of
shouldn't have.
thank you. You shouldn't have.
I am just thinking of Infinite Stratos.
And more or less, yeah.
Eh,
Izuku is going to be the Doom Slayer, and he's going to get one for all. And there might be some canon in the story. Also, Izuku is a willing mute, and the Doom Dimension starts invading after the Icon of Sin is beaten, but before the entrance exam. So Izuku is still taking the entrance exam despite
the ongoing demon invasion.
Literal fucking Doomslayer that all demons fear.
despite literally killing the embodiment of sin itself, a school is seriously gonna make Izuku still take the entrance exam?
That's how it works.
What?
Well, of course.
Um.
Look, just because he can kill the Icon of Sin doesn't mean he knows English well enough, okay?
Oh yeah, you know that's a fair point. It's a fair point. I won't take the Ancient Gods DLC into account for this story, but that doesn't mean I won't borrow stuff from it. Also, in this story, UA is actually a university, and everyone is over 20. That still doesn't make it better.
Are you going to accept that veto?
I mean, we're not done with the author's note yet.
Do you need any more?
There's more.
I asked, do you need any more?
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know the full extent before I skip this story.
Why must you make us suffer like this with you?
Because it can.
Yeah.
I will summarize the changes instead of writing everything out. Okay. Of the population of the world, only 10% are men. Of the population of the world, instead of 20% being men, it's actually going to be less, and it's going to be 10% of the world is men. As 20% would mean the idea of never seeing a male is kind of dumb. I mean, that's fair.
whole story.
That's fair enough. 1 in 5. Yeah, we did actually complain about this when we read Total Command. Is we made fun of the author for saying, "Oh yeah, they have never seen a guy before." Except if 1 in 5 people on the world are guys, that's still a lot of men. Like, okay, so it's gonna be 1 in 10 instead of 1 in 5, and that's somehow gonna make it better as a trope. Meaning 1 man per classroom, more like 2, but okay. If the human population is 8 billion, that means there's only 800 million men in the world. Yeah. Using this idea, let's say Japan's population is rounded up to 130 million, meaning there is 13 million men, which makes them an actual rarity. No, there's countries with less than 13 million people in them. First world countries with less than 13 million people in them.
Japan
Not even
is also
Luxembourg,
not
like
that
fucking
big.
Sweden.
Isn't Japan like pretty small for that size population?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
Japan is
they have
incredibly dense.
massive space issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you'd be probably seeing a guy pretty often in that place of a country. Like in Russia or
Yeah.
maybe the U.S., you could probably get away with that because like there's like a lot of rural towns and shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it's very silly the idea of Izuku being the only man that all of Japan has ever seen. Okay. I didn't realize that was
Was he
part of.
born then?
Yeah.
There wouldn't be a Japan left.
It's not meant to mock stories like Total Command and Doom Slayer of Hope, which both are fantastic stories but kind of ignore the flaws of making a population anything 20%. Hell, canon makes this mistake. No. Quirkless people being 20% of the population is totally fine because there's active discrimination against them. And people weren't like, oh my god, you don't have a quirk. People were like, Lamau, you don't have a quirk.
And also, it's pointed out that the older generations have a higher percentage of quirkless people.
Right, exactly. It's not. Japan actually has a population of 114 million. Still a lot of people.
Yeah. It's
126 million. Okay,
126.
so their
even
math is fine then. Doesn't change anything.
Works out.
I love the plots, but when you actually do the math of it, it doesn't make sense, says the guy doing this sort of story.
Math that doesn't make sense.
Wow, really?
So in a sense, I want the setting of only being 1 in 10 men to be more realistic.
Why do they even need this anyway?
Author.
I mean,
You know, that's a good question.
It's
Trying to
going to a
rationalize their
hero
incarnation.
school.
Hero University, excuse you. There's gonna be lots of sex in this story, so you can't have it be happening in high school.
But again, people with quirks are the ones who are, getting into it.
Right.
So it's not like it matters if everyone outside of it doesn't have one.
Well, not only that, UA also has a general studies and an engineering department and a business studies. So You don't need a quirk to even get into UA, which is what always like fucking boggled my mind why they put so much emphasis. Oh, you're going to UA, you don't have a quirk. It's like, okay, but only the hero courses require the quirk exam.
To be fair, Bakugo was an asshole.
Okay, yeah, but like the teacher was pointing it out, like, oh, you're getting into UA, are you sure about that? It's like, yeah, unless, I mean, I understand that everyone else is like, oh, he's trying to be a hero, but like, for, you know, Izuku clearly wanted to go to UA enough that he clearly did some level of research, I suppose, enough to pass the written exam. And you're telling me he never happened upon the fact that you could be a general studies student and then transfer into the heroes course? I look, there's so much more about My Hero Academia that I just absolutely despise than the fact that 20% of the people are apparently quirkless. There's so many plot holes in the whole premise entrance of the story that it's the fucking oh, who is it? Who do I always complain about? John. Oh, it's the fanfiction John issue. Not fanfiction, canon John issue. Of John always wants to be a fucking huntsman, but like never even looked up what huntsman did. Apparently.
Yeah, that really poor writing decision.
Yeah, I want to be a huntsman, but I never am actually going to look up what a huntsman does, or
Yes.
what a huntsman needs to do, or what a
Like,
huntsman
Just
uses.
so people can explain it to them. Rather than actually just going, oh, this is the world as it is.
Well, let's
I
see.
mean, they could have also just had John say, "Oh, it's that thing that protects huntsmen, right?" And then Pierre could come in like, "Well, it's a little bit more complicated, but
Right, exactly. You don't need to
generally,
make John
yes."
oblivious. You can just make John developed in his understanding of everything. Like, yeah, we hunt Grim. Well, we do a little bit more than hunt Grim. Oh, well, Aura's that thing that makes huntsmen like super strong and stuff. Well, it's a little bit more than that. Like, he's got a rough understanding of everything instead of an absolutely oblivious understanding of everything.
Like, also not to mention, they're in a school. Why couldn't they have
Yeah.
had sections where the teachers go, okay, I know you all know this shit, but I'm gonna hammer it into your heads.
Yeah,
Like, something
that's
like
also
that.
fair. Also, every form of media ever in existence. He's apparently a total comic geek, but like has never read a comic where Aura was the thing.
Well, the problem is, Sneaky, that like Jean's supposed to be like the Naruto effect, which is, something really terrible that Kishimoto should have never done. But at least in Naruto, it makes sense because everyone kind of hates him.
Well,
And
no, see, the thing is, in
specifically-
Naruto, in Naruto, he's actually shown early on. Naruto's actually shown early on training a lot, but the problem is he's just training improperly. Like he
I'm
doesn't
just
have
talking
anyone
about
correcting
how-
the mistakes he's making.
I'm talking about how Naruto is like Sakura is always explaining stuff to Naruto, and that way that the reader can learn things. But with that, it makes sense because all of his teachers were sabotaging his education.
Well, that's fanon, but it's mostly just Naruto didn't listen. He was constantly getting in trouble for sneaking out of class. That's canon. He was constantly falling asleep in class. That's canon. He was constantly, doing pranks and shit that would get him detentions. That's canon. So it's not even so much the teachers sabotaged anything. He
didn't care about the theoretical part. He only cared about doing it.
Yeah. Wasn't it said like Naruto is more about someone who does better doing
kinesthetic learner? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Like I said, but the other problem is that while he trained a bunch, he was using likely shit he found off the ground. So the rusty shurikens and the chipped kunai and unbalanced stuff, but generally people stuff that probably they threw out. And he was practicing fighting forms without supervision, and so he kind of just developed a really terrible fighting style and just kept doing it because that's all he knew, and so he was pretty shit at everything else. And instead of looking at himself when he loses in the fighting ring, he instead, as a child does, blames Sasuke for cheating or being so much better than him, because reasons. And instead of being like, well, maybe I'm doing something wrong, it's like, no, he's just doing something better than me. But anyways, it's the Naruto effect, it's the John effect, it's the fucking I hate My Hero Academia so much. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna veto this story because I just absolutely I hate that the author is trying to take an idea I already despise and be like, I'm gonna do a more realistic take on this by making it worse and less less sensible. It's gonna be a realistic take by making it less realistic. Big brain.
Ah, yes. Epic gamer moment.
Big brain. Also, another thing to mention that I absolutely have to mention every single time I see one of these garbage ass stories about like 99,000% of the world is women and like just 3 men in all, period. If there isn't some sort of technology to make women on women relationships reproduce, pretty much every woman in society's rules would basically turn men into fucking poodles that like you have to take care of and do everything for and ensure the safety of and all their needs are ever met. Because if 1 in 10 of your population are capable of reproducing, you kind of protect that 1 in 10. Unless you want to have like a guy going around having sex with hundreds of women to make sure that the next generation's actually born. You
Isn't that the point of these things?
Yes, it is, but that's sort of my point though, is that in a lot of these stories I see like the women just totally like dumping on the guy, like, oh haha, I'm gonna fucking shit on you and beat you up and be an absolute bitch to you. When it's like, he's your only chance of ever having kids.
To be fair, most of these authors probably get bullied in school, so they just make everyone an alpha bitch.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, when you're reading some of these fan fiction stories, you can absolutely feel the banned word energy coming off of these authors.
Oh yeah, that is a banned word now, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a banned word. I'm not allowed to say that. The hard
Yeah.
N. And you think I'm referring to something else, but no, I'm actually referring to the other banned N word.
Oh, Twitch.
Oh, Twitch.
It had to be stupid.
Indeed. Anyway, so 2 people in a major city would be surprised by such a fact. Will this story be a harem if it wasn't obvious? Yes. Mostly because girls fall in love because big man big or something stupid, instead of more reasonable growth. It'd be more like girls fall in love because man exists if you got a 1 in 10 population statistic. Like Christ.
Percentage.
Look, if there's like, if you have 1,000 people and there is only enough food for 100 meals in the store, people are gonna fight for those 100 meals because only 1 in 10 of those people are getting them.
Yeah.
Imagine my shot.
Wow.
It's just this is why I fucking hate these stories. Just absolute fucking cringe, and I hate the existence of these stories because they're just I think what I hate more about these sort of stories is not the fact that they exist or the fact that someone's thought them up and written them out. I think the fact that they're trying to be taken seriously. It's literally just call yourself porn. You are literally just porn. That's all you are. Is your porn. Don't try and take yourself seriously. You are nothing more than porn.
Pretty much, yeah.
So anyway, Fate Stay Night DxD. This will probably be the fic that we end the night on. Hopefully it's good. By hopefully, I mean... I don't know.
It's gonna be awful. It's
Probably gonna be awful.
We all know it's
Oh, it's by writer with bad grammar.
Is that literally the author's
Yes.
name?
Yeah, we've seen him before.
Writer with bad grammar with a capitalized G and then T-T.
Yeah.
I've
he's
read
crying.
this person's crap.
Yeah, he's awful.
Mm.
Yeah, we've made fun of him before for not spelling Issei correctly.
Yeah, his
Guess what he does?
grammar.
Guess what he does in summary? Doesn't spell Issei
Spells
correctly.
it. Mm.
So anyway, so this is a Fate Stay Night DxD story called Representation of Humanity. We all know Isay become pervert because he meet one pervert in park. However, in this universe, he meet certain old troll. Lamau.
That better not be what I think it is.
You got the
Swat,
whole
swat,
squad
swat,
laughing.
swat, swat, swat. The Rafflecopter is coming in.
Oh god.
Instead of the old pervert. Multiple crossover OOC Isay. Warn bad grammar. Looking for beta prologue. Chapter 10 edited. This chapter has been edited by Sir Godot, Fronde, and Weapon West 123. All the credits of better grammar and spelling are given to them. Well, we'll see how good of a job they actually did, because I really doubt it.
I recognize that first name.
It's never a good thing.
Kuo City, Japan. Kuo was one of the cities located in Japan.
No shit.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay.
I see. So that's how we're going to start this story off. Got it. The city itself was not that large, boasting a modest population of 300,000 people. The city was not that large, boasting a modest population of more people than the state of Vermont.
Nah, Vermont
That's
has like
not hard.
700k. 700k in Vermont, isn't it?
No, it's 320.
Hang on. Hang the fuck on. Vermont population 623,989. 2019.
No, I was looking at an old stat then, but still.
Yeah, like 50-year-old stat.
This city had the modest population of half of a fucking state. Yeah, okay, not that large, okay. But it was considered beautiful and quiet place for families to go hiking or to have a picnic. Ah, yes, that's what I do when I want to go to a city, is I go hike in the city.
Yes.
How do they
Yeah.
build their buildings if you're hiking up them?
Apparently on the mountain,
Yeah.
I guess.
In Japan. Because, you know, living in the Ring of Fire, that's a great fucking idea.
Who would have thought that the city of Kuo in Japan is in Japan? Yeah, I know, right? It's mind-boggling that the city of Kuo that's located in Japan is located in Japan.
Yeah, it's kind of got me fucking thinking, bro.
Yes, there were several groups of gangs prominent in the city. However, wait, gangs?
In Japan?
Gang.
In Japan? Modern Japan? Like, this is like 2010 Japan, right?
Why not just
Yep.
call them fucking Yakuza at that point? If you really want to fucking go with whole hog, your
Who
fucking
knows?
knowledge of Japan.
Okay, alright, However, they were small enough to the point that the local police could control them. Yeah, that's why the gangs are still around. It's because the police could control them.
Excellent.
The poverty rate of the city was only 4.5%, so there was also a lack of major crime.
I feel like that. I
have to know. I have to know.
and ask him about the.
I was about to. Poverty rate of Chicago.
100%.
Let's see
Get
here. Poverty. No, we don't want to know the despite statistic. Poverty. Labor force, accommodation. Persons in poverty. So, what is this statistic? No year given.
Sounds trustworthy.
Yeah. Estimates are not comparable due to time difference of data sources. That's useless. I just want to know. Okay, Chicago poverty rate 2019. Yeah, let's go here. 20%. Okay.
20%. That's actually less than expected.
That's
Not gonna lie.
okay. So Kuo's got a 4 times lower, so 5 times lower poverty rate than Chicago. So there should only be a fifth of the murders happening, according to.
I don't know about that. Looks like LA has a 22.3% poverty rate.
That's LA.
There's
LA
a lot
is
of crime in LA.
there. Yeah, I was gonna
Wow.
say.
Let's see. We got a 29% poverty rate. Oh no, that was in 2013.
Higher.
Final party rate, yeah. 20.9 to
No, it looks like
17.3.
17.3% in 2018.
Yeah. Probably a bit more now, though. Due to
Well, that's why I wasn't using
the Rona.
2020 statistics. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't really blame a virus for poverty rates, though, when you're trying to compare it to, the normal averages. That's what's
Yeah.
considered an outlier. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's a good point. We shouldn't be comparing this to American cities. We should be comparing it to Japanese cities.
Tokyo is 16%.
All right. Well, you're ahead of me on that one. Good. So 16%. Okay.
And Japan's national average looks like 15.7.
So that's hilariously lower. And interesting. All in all, Kuo was a nice place to live in, despite its lack of size and history compared to local tourist hotspots like Kyoto and Tokyo. Well, you're not gonna mention Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
You had to go there.
There was a little gap in their history.
This
It was a little blip in its
Certain
history.
place.
no longer exist.
It was on a peaceful and cheery day within Kuo City that our story began. The sun shone its glorious, bright, and warm light on a Sunday while sounds of birds chirping and children playing painted a picture of happiness in Kuo City. It was a picture that screamed peacefulness, except for one young boy. A boy with short brown hair was currently alone in a park. He sat quietly on a swing with a frown on his cute face while his body moved up and down from the swinging motion.
Well, they did warn about bad grammar.
They did, yeah.
This is actually
In case you
better
didn't
than
get the
normal.
memo, He was a boy. He had to say it twice. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, this boy was a boy. He had
Done.
brown-haired boy.
Boy, male. As opposed to boy, female.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Please do not.
You can never be sure.
Exactly.
Please do not.
A boy. He was very sad. What are we, 5? The emotion
Yeah,
was
apparently.
plastered all over the child's face, showing it to the world while the rest of the world in turn ignored him. Despite this sadness, no one, neither children nor parents, saw it. Wait, what? So the kid is sad, and if you even look at his face, you can tell he's blatantly sad, but no one saw it, but they all ignored him. You can't ignore something you didn't see. That's like saying you're ignoring trees falling in the forest right now. Right now, at this very moment, you are currently ignoring the plight of thousands of trees that are falling.
Good. Fuck them. Fuck trees. They aided the Vietnamese.
War crimes can't happen if I don't see them.
Exactly.
I mean, say that's just fucking American war crimes right there.
No, hold on a second. We have reclassified all the civilians post-mortem as combatants.
We can't kill non-combatants. Everyone's a combatant.
Exactly.
He was sad because today was the day he had lost his best friend, his brother in all but blood, who would always play with him every day and support him at his side. He was already missing the happy moments when they played hero together, with both of them trying to save each other from an imaginary villain. Their last day had been filled with crying and hugging his friend, who had also been crying. Before they had been separated by their parents, their bond had been forced to end when his friend's father had to move to Europe because he accepted a high-paying job. Now the boy actually did not consider himself as someone who had a hard time to socialize with others. He was sure he could find another awesome friend like him one day, but it would not be that easy. He had been together with his friend for years. The bond he had created with him could not be replaced like it was some kind of cheap 100 yen toy. This is some very deep thought from this 9-year-old or however old he is. Why are they crying? I have no answers for you, sir.
Do not cry for the child.
Why are you crying?
Cry.
Why are you crying?
Get the hell out.
Why are you gay?
Why are you crying?
Why are you gay? Because I'm gay. You are gay. I don't know why it makes me laugh so hard.
It's great.
At that exact moment in time, as the boy was reflecting about the loss of his best friend, an old man would normally appear out of nowhere and catch the boy's attention, and thus the boy would be sent on a path that would turn him into a very perverted adult who made the devil of lust, Asmodeus, very proud. However, this did not happen in this universe, for there was no perverted old man to appear, but fate demanded that there must be an old man, and thus the world provided one for the boy. I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, I don't like the wording on this.
I really don't like the wording on this one. For the sad boy, there was now a strange old man. Oh no!
Want some candy?
Oh, there's no
God,
little
Alpha.
Timmy stuck to your crotch. Progress.
Thanks to the Vatican.
The boy raised his head when he noticed a shadow blocking the warm light of the sun that had been giving him some comfort, and saw the man. The figure before him was a huge, old man. with spiky gray hair and beard, wearing black robe that covered black tuxedo. The British-looking gentleman's look was completed with gold cane that looked more like a troublesome assessor than actually useful.
I am wondering why they're describing him as British looking.
I mean, I guess they assume because he's in the clock tower, he's British. This little boy requires an old man. Yeah. A huge old man.
That's
that doesn't immediately make them British. It just means they
don't you know by staying in Britain for too long you turn white and your teeth go crooked?
Oh god. Oh fuck.
At least his name isn't Little Chimney.
Well, what caught the boy's attention were the eyes. They were deep crimson like blood. Oi, boy, why are you sulking? The old man asked gently. Yes, gently. The boy was silent, simply staring at the old man, and the old man in turn stared back at him. Dot 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 dot.
Hold on. I want to go through that and see if there's any Morse code in there.
Go ahead. I'll take a guess. You didn't say anything because your parents told you to not talk to strangers, am I right? The boy nodded silently in agreement. That would be difficult, the old man murmured to himself while rubbing his beard. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to hear out of a stranger when you're like, oh, they told you not to talk to strangers, right? Yeah. Oh, well, that makes this way more difficult. It's like, should I start running?
Shall I call the cops?
I need
hello, police. Then how about I become your friend?
Hello, police.
Hello, police.
I need an adult.
He declared proudly, I need a different adult.
Need an adult.
The elder's self-congratulating thoughts to his awesome solution were cut short when the boy replied in a flat tone, I'm not gonna be friends with a strange old man. What a rude boy. The old man chided the boy with a scowl. Didn't your parents teach you to respect
What do
your
you mean
elders?
rude?
He's right. My parents did say to respect my elders, the brown-haired boy thought to himself, but I don't want to be friends with you. You are old and wrinkly. The boy pouted slightly, making the old man laugh. Then don't be. How about we become acquaintances instead? Acquaintances, the boy asked while tilting his head, not understanding the meaning. Acquaintances, my boy. It's like a friend, but not. How about it? Okay then, we shall be acquaintances with you. Good. Now, boy, since we are now acquaintances, tell me everything. My friend has gone to England. Oh, why did your friend go there? His dad got a job there. The old man let out a hum and rubbed his beard once more, a thoughtful expression on his face. Well, what are you guys usually doing? We play Hero. Oh, Hero, eh? What an interesting game, he said with glee, his face showing his amusement for what he heard. Hey, don't laugh, old man. Being a hero is cool. The boy scowled before he smiled in joy. One day I will become a real hero, and then I'll go find Irana and ask him to become a hero too. Tell me then, boy, what do you think a hero is? A hero is an awesome guy who beats bad guys and saves the world, he answered with big grin. Who and what else? He also saves people and makes everyone around him happy, like Superman. The boy answered with a slight pause due to thinking about his reply. Wouldn't it be more like Kamen Rider or something instead of Superman for, Japan?
Probably. But, why let that stop the author?
No, fair enough. Make people happy, eh? Then what about the villain? Well, the villain loses. The hero beats him after all. But if the villain loses, he'll be sad. Shouldn't the hero make all people happy? The boy scowled at the logic. But the villain is the bad guy. He makes people sad. If heroes beat him, then people are happy. The villain is not the bad guy. For example, Rana's father leaves you and your friend and makes you sad. Does he make him a bad guy? The old man asked, and the boy was taken aback. He put on a thoughtful face before he slumped in defeat. No, Shindo is not a bad guy. But then, what should heroes do if villain is not bad guy but makes people sad? Heroes should try to understand the villain, why they became bad guys in first place, and then try to persuade him to stop being bad. If the hero can't, then the decision is in the hero's hands. Whether he will stop the bad guy. Okay. Or not
Hmm.
depends
we were
on
joking
him.
about Alucard earlier, but I would love it much more if Alucard was the one standing here.
I
and not
really
the-
would love it if Alucard was the one standing there, yes. The old man
Which
said
Alucard?
abridged.
abridged. What other Alucard are we going to be talking about?
So Helsing abridged Alucard.
Yes.
Not Castlevania Alucard or anything like that.
No,
Although
no.
that would be interesting.
Yeah, but he would have to...
But
No. Why... Yeah, a Super Sentai Ultraman. Yeah. Probably. Hero should try to understand the villain, blah, blah, blah. I think I understand. Good! Now, since you are a good child, I have a present for you. Yeah, hello, police.
Hello. Additional police presence required.
The old man started to rummage through his clothes and pulled out a pack of cards. You said you want to be a hero, right? Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, it's the install system.
Yes, I will become a hero. Then these toy will help you become a hero. See you. And the elder leaned down so he could whisper into the boy's ear. Don't tell anyone about this. This is a secret toy and allows you to transform into superheroes. Way, the boy exclaimed in awe. You mean like the ones from the movies? Yes, now keep your voice down, the old man said in a chiding tone, and the boy clamped his hands over his mouth. These cards will give you superpowers. This is a saber class card. They use a sword. And the gods are in all of it. Oh wow, like King Arthur. Yeah, totally like King Arthur. Would Japan even know about King Arthur?
Considering a fate.
Yeah, I was going to say fake.
Not even
Yeah.
fate. King Arthur is a basis for a lot of like
That's
generic
true.
fantasy stories in Japan.
Yeah.
Japan
Yeah.
absorbed other cultures like a fucking sponge once, people came a knocking.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah, listen, it's still knocking. It's just their doors couldn't, withstand the force of the knock.
Knock, knock, says the US. You will open your ports.
Open the country.
Stop.
Stop having it be closed.
America jumped in
And then
with
Japan just said okay.
Based Commodore Perry, honestly.
Hey, we have a bunch of ships with guns on them, and you either
Gun
start
bolts.
trading with us or we're gonna shoot the guns at you until you start
Exactly.
trading with us.
The entirety of your country is within their range. All we have to do is move the boats a little up your coast.
Honestly, that was like the ultimate version of "you will take my money or else."
You will buy my product.
buy product loads Glock or else.
Oh god. Old history is fucking hilarious. Fucking, and then there was the time the Romans were fighting someone, and they're like, well, they're using the woods for cover. So why don't we just burn down the entire forest? And then they did that. And there's a
Ancient
reason.
problems require ancient solutions.
They burned down a lot of forest. They burned down a lot of forest. It was a favorite tactic of theirs to just burn the forest.
Oh, but Tojo was telling me the other day that after Commodore Perry knocked on Japan's door, they almost adopted English as their official language because of the
Yeah,
trade.
they did. Yeah.
Yeah, between the
Considered it.
Dutch, America, and
Yeah.
Australia.
Well, the Dutch were always there.
After Commodore Perry came a knockin', it was Britain, the U.S., and Russia. So,
Yeah.
two of the
Yeah.
forced trading partners who also happen to be very hegemonic, speak the same language.
Yeah.
Might not be a bad idea to consider it.
Purchase
Yeah.
all your products.
Would have been a lot easier if they fucking did.
Yeah, it really would have. And then they wouldn't have had to invent 3 new languages.
Well, I mean, the writing languages were already invented, mostly.
Okay, let's be real. The Koreans, the Chinese, and the Japanese just continuously stole letters from each
Yeah.
other.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, then Korea was like, all right, we're going to throw all this out and just redo our written alphabet again and cleaned it up.
Look, there's nothing saying a little re-education can't help a society.
Really going
Granted,
there?
how that re-education is into the fucking soil, no one knows.
It's an
Jeez.
agricultural re-education, don't you know?
Exactly.
One order an Earthshaker.
Oh god. Like King Arthur, here is the second. This is the Lancer card. Like Saber, he wields a spear. Like Zan Yun from Dynasty Warriors. That guy's a Lancer. Wow, very cool. This is an archer, like Robin Hood. Robin Hood. Irana often wanted to play a princess. He then asked me to become Robin Hood and rescue him. I don't know why he said that. He's a boy. The old man laughed. Oh, if only the boy knew that that was a girl. Anyway, this is Berserker. This is a hero who gets angry. Remember when Superman thought Lois Lane was killed? That's Berserker. So is Berserker always angry? That's not cool. How can I save people if I'm angry? That depends. Didn't Superman's enemy lose when he became a Berserker? Yeah, I guess. Aha, anyway, this is a caster. Don't you know about the Harry Potter books? Alright, fair play, author.
Okay, then.
If he doesn't become Harry as a caster.
That would be pretty funny. These
Yeah.
magical girl animes? Yup, all of them are casters. And this is the rider class, like Common Rider. Common Rider Kuga. He makes the iconic transformation motion. And this is the assassin class. They're like ninjas that kill people. Nin nin.
Wait, they're like ninjas as opposed to the ones that don't.
Yeah.
Like Naruto.
Naruto has a
Like
Naruto.
No, people still died in there. Naruto still actually.
No, Naruto never killed
Unless
anyone.
you count the filler, then no, Naruto has a kill count of 0.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna count the filler
counter
for the sake of argument.
In fact, he has a negative kill count because he convinced Pain to revive all those people.
No, hold on, no. He convinced Pain to commit suicide. That's definitely a kill.
Based.
Technically, which is the best way to be correct, I guess.
Some people also argue the fake Itachi.
What?
Here's the thing: Naruto just played fucking Fallout 1, Fallout 2, so we just put all of his points into charisma.
Yeah, and his luck stat has an asterisk, and it only affects things when he plays games of chance.
Mm-hmm. You were technically correct, the best kind of correct, yes. Actual.
Also, wouldn't the more accurate rendition of talking about berserkers in Japan be, berserk?
Would a 10-year-old know about Berserk?
Actually, I don't know.
Probably just through the fact how known it is, maybe. But I don't know if you'd probably read it. So I don't know.
Well, hang on. What's
For reputation alone, that's fair enough.
what year would that be?
2010.
I don't think
Oh well, no. For let's see, it'd be he's 16, so it'd be like 2004 right now.
Okay, well, Fate wasn't even out, and there's no way a 10-year-old would have access to an 18-plus Dushin.
Nexus says it's popular enough that a 10-year-old might know of it, by the title.
Yeah, Berserk, yeah, maybe. But...
Let's see. Now the last one is this. G-chan, this card is blank. Yep, this card is blank. Among the 7 classes, this one's special. If you pick this card, it'll be suited only to you, and try and pick which class is best for you. If you have a talent to become a swordsman, it becomes a saber card. You can only choose one boy, so what are you going to pick? The boy put on a thoughtful face. The old man could see the boy was really thinking about it. By the way, what is your name, boy? My name is Hayudo Issei. My name is Kishir Shwangwag. Nice to meet you. Pick your card. Why would you ever choose anything other than blank? Because honestly, if I was given this option, I would probably choose not the blank card, specifically because I know I would likely end up Berserker. And that's just less fun. Everyone knows magic is more fun.
You get to go around with Berserker.
Yeah,
oh wait,
exactly.
you don't know how the cards work, do you? Knows.
I vaguely know how they work, but not in
Yeah,
depth.
no, you don't run around with Berserker. You would run around as Berserker.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's way worse.
So
Yeah,
the
exactly.
card. Okay, so basically the cards and they overlay the powers onto you, and if they have a significantly strong like personality, like say Gilgamesh, they can even overwrite your personality.
Yeah, Berserk.
Something that was incredibly poorly done by everyone's resident hero, Philip James Fox.
Do not remind me of that abomination.
Isn't he that guy who wrote that thing, Lupin?
Essence of Silver and Steel, the thing that makes Lupin have conniptions over? Yeah.
Whoa,
Which,
whoa,
by
I'm
the way,
sorry.
is still going.
Lupin has trouble. Oh wow!
Lupin literally froths at the mouth with every single chapter the guy uploads, yeah.
Yeah.
I just sit there and laugh at how wrong he is with some of the mechanics.
Wait, does Lulu read every chapter as it comes out so he can be
making fun
angry?
of him, but yeah, it is James D. Fox, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, oh god, I fucking hate his story so much.
He gets everything wrong.
Oh, it literally is just the guy hasn't read or watched anything of Fate besides Grand Order.
Hasn't read Worm either.
And he hasn't read Worm either. Didn't even go to the Wikipedia for either of them.
Doesn't he also beg for money?
Yes.
Yep.
That he throws at Fate Grand Order.
Yeah, he spends all on Fate Grand Order.
He offered out like shitty 3D rendering projects on someone else's thread.
Yeah, he for a while he was going around to other stories and using this cheap 3D
that from Nexus was made for porn stuff.
Yeah, like people use it to make really shit 3D porn, apparently, and he was using it to make these like really garbage title cards, quote unquote. And he was like, pay me money now for it.
What makes it worse was people weren't even mentioning.
I don't know.
He's like, I've made you a title card, now pay me money. It's like, fucking what? That's not how this works at all.
Oh wait, no, he was doing that thing those fuckers do at the railroad crossings. I cleaned your window. Give me money.
Yeah, exactly right.
Or like the jackasses that sign a CD, hand it to you, and like, oh thanks, $20. You take it back. No, $20. No refunds.
I remember I was where was I for that one? I think it was Greece. It was either Greece or Mexico. I think it was Greece though. I think it was when I was in Athens. There was the guy at the classic tourist area that was like, you know, doing that whole scam of like, I'm gonna give you this and you're gonna give me money after I give you it. And I forget exactly what it was. Either he offered it to me and I said my snappy comeback, or I took it and walked away and said my snappy comeback. But it was something along the lines of, if you give that to me, I'm walking away with it and you're not getting anything for it.
That definitely sounds like you.
The fuck are you gonna do? Call the cops?
Got a point.
Yeah.
I would like to offer you to call the cops. Good fucking luck catching me.
Life has many alleyways, Fed boy.
Life has many enemies,
boy. Which one do you pick? Which one do I pick? Well, I choose sometime later in an unknown place at an unknown time. Are you done? Yeah, I'm done. Why are you talking like that? You sound like an old relic. You are one to talk, old vampire. It's not like you are in your prime. Gah ha 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 ha. Dot 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 dot. Are you sure this will be interesting? Of course I'm sure this will be interesting. I've seen this boy's life. There are so many possibilities. But most of them always turn him into a pervert. But since I was rather bored, I decided to make things different. You are not angry, are you? Humph. I don't care. I'm surprised. Nevertheless, this will be interesting, and then I'll give you my help. Ha 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 ha. Thank you, Mr. Great Red. I assure you won't be disappointed. You better. I'm waiting for your results, vampire. As you can see, I have read Demon Lord's Hero, Demon Among Devils, and other such amazing fanfics that have inspired me to write this fanfic about the nature of humanity. Seriously, those stories are amazing and cool, and you should all go read them.
Excuse me while I guffaw.
Okay, I mean, look, Demon Lord's Hero isn't that bad, but it's also not like... It's also not fucking world-shakingly different from the norm. As you can see, my grammar is very bad. Very bad, in fact, sigh. All my story is littered with bad grammar, just like my name. Of course, I'm willing to accept people to fix it for me, but please be serious. I have many beta reader that aren't serious and don't finish. I wonder why. I'm pretty sure it's because of how bad your grammar is.
It's worse than Frey.
Oh fuck, he's a beta reader as well.
Now I will give you all a choice. What class Isaiah should be, and from who else should be his comrades. Here will be abilities. Each card I have Isaiah based on Fate Stay Night. And it's literally just all the characters that show up in everything but Fate Stay Night. I'm just kidding. It also Fate Stay Night, but literally any of the Fate animes. Sorry, pretty much every single Fate anime character shows up in this list.
Well, of course.
Out of course.
Yes.
I like how for every single class he lists all the heroes that could show up, and then caster, vast knowledge. Just doesn't even list a fucking hero. That's all I can say. Please send me your choices through reviews. Johnny XD.
Disgusting.
How does that make you feel, Orf? Is he still here? He's still here. How does that make you feel, Orf?
I am absolutely neutral to that thing in particular because I know what you're talking about.
Johnny! Exclamation point XD.
Who?
Though since I stopped writing for Naruto, I did stop doing that.
Did you?
Yeah, and all my gamer stuff, since it's like Western stuff instead of anime, and just say "see ya" instead of John A. I'm playing to the crowd, Sneaky. I told you, fanfiction is SEO for me.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'll give credit where credit's due. So this was a honestly mediocre story with nothing particularly awful about it. I really don't see why you would ever read this story in the extent that it has been read, apparently, with 2,400 follows and favorites. Really cannot comprehend why you would read 416,000 words of this.
You know, mankind may never get an honest
them, apparently.
I mean, I also don't comprehend why the fuck people read and write the shit that you've also done on this fucking podcast, so whatever.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
I don't understand why you write
Some of
that.
the stories you've shown just make me scratch my head.
Yeah, well, that's life. But that's about it for tonight, honestly. We did pretty good. We got like 2.5 stories covered. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
2 stories and an author's note.
Which is basically effectively the length of a story, so I don't see any problem with that. No, it's about covers it for tonight. So we'll see you guys on Tuesday for episode, was it 4? Yeah, episode 4 on Tuesday. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. There's always more, and it always gets worse.